What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, a Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop. Hit the notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into this video. New York Knicks, Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young thought he was going to come in here and roll some dice on our logo once again, and nah, it wasn't happening. Close game, close game. I got to get my hands off to the crowd for not antagonizing him. We'll get into that later on down the line, down the show. You see Trae Young, no dice. We'll talk about that around the show off. But right now, we're going to talk about the Hawks, the Knicks, and how this game played out, what the score was, what the Knicks shot from the floor, 3 points, and how the Knicks just controlled this game. I want to say from beginning to end, but when it was necessary from the third quarter on, the Knicks took control because they was down 8 points in the half going into the half, and then started into that third quarter with a 5-point lead going into the fourth quarter. So that's what I mean by getting control of the game. You understand? All right, let's get into this. Like I said, little switch up in the lineup. Coach for the Hawks came out with a little matchup, you know what I'm saying, trying to cause some problem from Towns, and he did. Towns had a rough night. One would say he was out a couple of games, so he was a little rusty. I would beg to differ because it wasn't like he was out 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He was out no more than 4 or 5 days. He missed two games. The Knicks are 3-4, 3-4 with him missing games. I think he missed 5 games. So it's 3-2 or 2-3? Hit me in the comments. Correct me, y'all. You know how I like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the matchup was Okonwande. Clint Capella was on the bench. He did a pretty good job. Towns only scored. What Towns scored tonight? You have Towns with 13 points, 5 of 18 shooting, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 1 from 6 for downtown. He hit a big three when we needed. That's all that counted, if you ask me. But yeah, this was a good game. I wouldn't call it revenge, but I would call it what kind of game? Put a man in his place, you know what I'm saying? Because the Hawks have been looking pretty good against the top teams of the East, like the Bostons, the Cavs, and the Knicks. They beat us twice already. Once in the play in the tournament, knocking us out of the tournament. Then coming to our house, rolling the dice on the logo. Yeah, fans was upset. Brunson took it all in stride, and Brunson was correct. Brunson said the only way to get back at him is to beat him. And Brunson came out with that on his mind. We'll get into that later. I know I like to start stuff up and just say we'll get into it, but we'll get into that later. We're talking about the game. It ain't gonna be a long video. We ain't gonna follow the topics up to date. Rundown. We're just going to get into this and get out. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. I see the lineup. Carl Anthony Towns returned. OG had a good game. OG, what I've been thinking about OG and his performance the last few games, and people have been disappointed. And y'all heard me talk about the player minutes. Everybody been talking about the player minutes. Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, they had a little interview podcast. I actually was going to do that video. Matter of fact, I might do it later on, breaking down Tibbs and how he was when he coached them. And the minutes, you know what I'm saying? So the minutes, in my opinion, affect Anunoby play because he's giving a lot on defense. And what we got to realize, I know you're going to say he was with us last year, but he only played no more than 26 games, no more than 30 games with us last year. And he's not used to it, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention he's putting all his energy on defense, sometimes not guarding the best player on the opposing teams. Him and Mikal Bridges, they share that duty. And Mikal Bridges did a great job tonight on Trae Young. We're going to, like I said, that's for later down the line. Now let's just talk about this game. Knicks shot 52 from the field. They went 9 for 26 from downtown, 16 for 21 from the free throw line. They missed 5 free throws. Brunson responsible for 2. Matter of fact, 3 free throws he missed in this game. 16 turnovers. To them, that 24 turnovers for the Hawks, and they cashed in on them turnovers. You know what I'm saying? It was one them defensive games at a moment where you look for throughout the season, like what the Knicks was doing last year. Because this was, some would say, excuse me about this. Some would say this was a hell of a defensive stand for the New York Knicks. Um, Hawks was on a little streak. You know what I'm saying? They just beat Boston in overtime. That was a little chippy game. This game got a little chippy, but Brunson has excuse me, has some words for the kid from down under. What's his name? Dotson. What's his name? Y'all hit me. I'll come back with it correct. You know what I'm saying? Him and Brunson was going at it. Mikal Bridges, Trae Young, they had words. It was a chippy game. This was a hard fought game. A victory that, the Knicks fans deserve, especially against Trae Young. Once again, no dice, Trae Young, not tonight. The Knicks had what? Points in the paint. They had 29 points, and compared to their 19 points from the Hawks, 31 assists. Now, I always talk about how I want Brunson to up his assists. Tonight, it was a team effort. Multiple players had at least 5 assists and more. So this game, whenever the Knicks have over 30 assists, they are usually victorious. So when they move the ball around, because a lot of people, well, me, you know what I'm saying, I always complain about the isolation because it's more ISO, and then when that don't go down, it's back to plan A when plan B don't, affect. That's how it is with anything. But I like to see motion right off the back, you know what I'm saying, getting Brunson open instead of him bouncing the ball, you know what I'm saying. But it's effective, you know what I'm saying. It's effective, you know what I'm saying. Speaking of Brunson, let's get into Brunson. Like I said, it's going to be a quick video. Another 30 burger, 34 points, 12 and 18 from the field, 3 from 5 from downtown, 1 steal in 38 minutes. Tibbs did a pretty good job of dishing out minutes for the bench players tonight. Deuce McBride, I think he played 20 minutes. Chua had efficient minutes to be a to be a contributor in this game. Payne, Payne continue, in my opinion, come out. I know I said I don't like his decision making because let's be real, it can be uh, mind boggling at times, but he is a spark off the bench. The bench has some points tonight. You know what I'm saying? Can't talk about what the bench wasn't doing, but the thing about it, the bench got minutes. You know what I'm saying? So that was important for the Knicks. Like I said, Brunson, another 30 burger. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna drop a list down here. You see the list: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seventh on that list, no 6. I didn't realize Carmelo Anthony had that many 30-point games until I looked at this list. I'm gonna be real. But Brunson had a terrific game tonight. The all-star that he should be. Hope everybody vote him in. He be a part of that starting lineup. 68, 30th game for the New York Knicks. He should pass Julius Randle by the end of the week. Bernard King is in his sights, and I'm wondering where he passed Richie. You know what I'm saying? How many games left? About 40 games left, 30 something games left. He got 87. You know what I'm saying? That's actually like 19 games on him, 30 points. Brunson on a roll. You know what I'm saying? And before his career with the New York Knicks is over, he's going to surpass Patrick Ewing in 30 points. He's going to be the top score. He's going to be the top man in that category. Come on, no doubt. So another great game from Brunson. Started that first half with 19 points. I mean, he was determined to get the victory. Like I said earlier, the only way to shut a man up, Brunson's quote, not verbatim, but you get the idea, is to win the game. If you want to stop a man from coming in your house with the antics, the only way to do that is to go out and win the game. And that's what Brunson did. Brunson went out there, he won the game. Our leader, captain, whatever you want to call him, been a guard sent to the New York Knicks. I know at one time we thought that was Julius Randle. And Julius Randle and the Wolves in the last couple of games, since beating the Knicks, they have looked very impressive. Dante D'Amichizo, I think he had something wrong with his toe. He's out indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? Let's all get say a prayer for him. You know, he was an ex-Nick, part of our great season last year. Even though he ain't with the team, I don't want to see him get hurt. And with that being said, let's move right over to our boy Mikal Bridges. Spectacular night, 26 points, 12 for 17 on the floor, 6 assists. Mikal Bridges, you know, the fans are up and down on Mikal. Let's be real. We be up and down on Mikal. One day he come out, drop of 38 points or 15 points, 16 points, 17 points, and then he's having flops. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, we talk about the minutes. These guys are not used to playing. Now, Mikal Bridges, in my opinion, have a more excuse because Anunoby coming into this, he should know that, you know what I'm saying, that he's gonna be playing these minutes. Whereas Mikal, first season with the Knicks under Tibbs, he's adjusting to the system, going out there playing hard defense. And in my opinion, this is one of the strenuous defensive systems that's being played in the NBA today. It's an old school style of defense. I think it's obsolete. I really think Tibbs should leave it because the Knicks defense of three is slipping, and I blame it on this trapping and double teaming and packing the paint and not letting the man go one on one, even not one on one. Just switch the defense up some time. Like we see some teams like to go zone on the New York Knicks. Depending on the team, the situation, the Knicks should switch the defense up. This is why we got constantly having players, big players catching our guys in the paint, mouse in the house. When I say guys, I'm talking about McBride, Brunson, or Payne, winding up on a 7-footer or a power forward in the paint. It's because we switching and trapping so much that the opposing coaches call a play that's going to put the Knicks in that position. And we had to figure out what Tibbs had to figure out a way to combat that, you know what I'm saying? Tonight, we had multiple guys in foul trouble. Luckily, we didn't have anybody foul out. Let me get the guy name because he fouled out. He was giving Brunson fits tonight. Oh, that's Daniels. And actually, Daniel was a guy. I know you always hear this from me that I said I looked at. Come on, when it's draft time, I do my research on players. I'm gonna be real. I do my research on players, and how I do my research, I look at the players that in the Knicks reach depending on their draft pick. And he was one of them guys, that I thought the Knicks would be able to snatch up, but the Hawks jumped in there and they snatched him up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's known for his defensive. Matter of fact, wasn't the Hawks because I think he got traded. Hit me in the comments because I think he was with OKC first. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he was a guy that I was interested in. But yeah, Bridges did his thing. Brunson did his thing on him. Brunson put him through the burner tonight. He's a guy that's known for his defense. He probably at the end of his career, he's probably gonna be known for a real defensive specialist in this league. I'm anxious to see his career, how it fold out, because I do like the kid. You know what I'm saying? Another guy that played in the Australia League. This is why I be wanting Hooker Party on the court, you know what I'm saying? Because I watched that league. I followed the league, you know what I'm saying? I was a big fan of Kai Soto. So when he played for the 36ers Anaheim, I would watch the NBL. And I seen Hooker Party play, you know what I'm saying? And I know what Hooker Party is capable of. And he can be a difference maker on his team if Tibbs just give this guy a shot. I'm just being real. I watched Daniels play before he got drafted. I watched Giddy play, you know what I'm saying, before he got drafted. I watched that league. I know what these players are capable of. I'm not saying Hooker Party is going to come in and be some superstar, but I'm telling you, he can help the New York Knicks, especially when they got 2 7-footers on the floor. He can contribute. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do that video with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett because they made some valuable points. They made some points. And I'm not just going to do it because it seems like they agree with me, but it's obvious what's going on with Tom Thibodeau and what he can do to make this team better, what he can do to make this team prepare for the playoffs. Because These guys are going to get in the playoffs. They're playing 40-something minutes, and they're going to be burnt out. And we're going to get it through the first round, but it's going to be that second round that kills us. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be that second round that kills us. I wanted to show a video of my man Mikal Bridges locking down Trae Young. It's basically the same video, but I just realized I mixed up some videos, so I apologize for that, because the other video was supposed to be of Mikal just going off, doing his thing, getting the 26 points. But this video is no dice Trae, you know what I'm saying? How Mikal Bridges played defense on Trae Young. And as I alluded to earlier in the video, where I said I wanted to speak upon, and I said I gave the hands off to the Knicks crowd because they didn't antagonize Trae. You know what I'm saying? They let the game fold out. They let the game play, because it seemed to me, well, at least in my eyes, in my opinion, is when we be having the Hawks down, especially when we home, and it looked like we about to put them away. The crowd started, dissing Trae Young, yelling all kind of obscenities, and it fused the fire. Trae go off. We seen it last game. You know what I'm saying? We had them that game, in my opinion. We had the lead, and then the crowd started yelling, "Oh, boo, Trae, this and that." And the man got hot, and the man took over. But tonight, Mikal Bridges held that butt down. Mikal Bridges had the bank. If they was playing CeeLo, Mikal Bridges had the bank. If they was playing crap, Mikal Bridges had the bank, because it was no dice being thrown by Trae Young. And if he threw the dice, I ain't gonna say it was snake eyes, because he did have 27 points, but he went 8 for 22 shooting, 6 for 12 from the 3-point line, and 5 for 6 from the free throw. That floater, I love the way he float. How many assists he had tonight? He had 6 assists. He averaged 11 assists. So, like I said, the defense is like, tonight's defense is what you want to see every night. You know what I'm saying? The intensity, being in the spot. You know what I'm saying? Block cutting off players, steals, blocks. We didn't have many, but the defense was good tonight. Josh Hart is Josh Hart. I wish he calmed down with the refs. It was a couple of texts. Brunson got a text. I think Towns got a text. Young got a text. Daniels got a text. Like I said, the game was kind of chippy. These guys got to learn to stop ripping with the referees. Excuse me there. But like I said, this was a game that Knicks needed after that loss from the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm hoping this is not a roller coaster type, thing. January, like I said in a previous video, that January could be a rough month for us if Tibbs don't manage the minutes better. And so far at home with this victory, where we 4-4, you know what I'm saying? Since January started, won 4 games here, lost 4 games. And I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to always say, until he managed these minutes better, I think that 9-game streak we see is going to be the last streak of that magnitude we see before we reach the playoffs, because we're going to make the playoffs. There's no doubt in my mind that the Knicks is not going to make the playoffs unless something tragic happens where we lose both our superstars, our all-stars, and Towns and Brunson. But other than that, we're going to make the playoffs. I just want to see some better player management. I want to see Hooker Porty on the floor, because Robinson, I know the rumors are that Robinson going to be back sometime early February, maybe a second week in February. He's still going to have to work his way into playing shape. And I'm just going to say, I'm not a 100% that he's going to be back in February. And if he do come back in February, I think it's going to be somewhere in mid-February, maybe the last week of February going into March. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a March return for Mitchell Robinson. So I'm pleading with Tibbs to get Hooker Porty more minutes, more experience on the NBA. I know I bigged up his NBL experience, but to get more of the flow of the NBA, get the referees used to seeing his face so that he can get, some credible call. Things work out better. Referees see who you are and not just some new jack off the bench. I just want to see this guy on the court. Sims, talk about him being Trae, but I don't see much value to what the Knicks can really get back for Sims. Let's be real, you know what I'm saying? He's not that much of an impact player. He's more of a reserve when there's an injury, and he could be more than that. Let's be real. He could be more than that, but what Tibbs have let these guys do and shown the world, you'll never know. You know what I'm saying? You'll never know, but what I have known and what I have seen is that guys that was on the Knicks bench went to other teams and flourished when they got the minutes. But I'm not confident that Mitchell Robinson will be back. I love the job that Mikal Bridges did on Trae Young tonight. No dice on our logo, but he did have 27 points in 35 minutes. But only thing is that really matters that the New York Knicks got the victory. We'll be playing Boston. The Brooklyn Nets tomorrow, my hometown. And I'm not going to say that this should be an easy victory because right now with the New York Knicks, there's no such thing as an easy victory. But what I will say is we need this one. We need this one because we want to get back to not only a winning streak, but, confidence. And in games like this, I think this is when the bench should get more significant minutes. Tell me what y'all think. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace. Purple gold, brighter than lampposts. Knicks cave rivals roast like prime toast. Brunson with the handles breaking Fortnites. Dagger shot serenade the New York Knights. Charles Anthony Tower and Beast. All right, y'all.